Every night, the sky above Ukraine reveals a brutal mathematical problem. Up to 5,000 Shahed attack drones pour out of Russian factories every month, swarming toward cities in numbers specifically designed to overwhelm. Attempting to swat down these $50,000 drones with multi-million-dollar interceptor missiles ends in bankruptcy. A nation will run out of high-end missiles long before the enemy runs out of cheap, expendable plastic. Ukraine's answer is to mass-produce their own counterswarm. They've engineered ultra-cheap interceptor drones, like the P-1 Sun, which cost roughly $1,000 to build. But building a cheap drone is the easy part, and delivering it to the target is where you hit a hard limit in the laws of physics. Small unmanned aerial vehicles rely on tiny batteries, which severely restricts their effective range and energy output. Until engineers can bypass this energy ceiling, defending a massive territory with tiny, short-range drones remains a theoretical goal rather than a practical reality. This chart highlights the core physical obstacle. When you launch a lightweight interceptor from the ground, it must fight gravity to reach the altitude of its target. That vertical climb acts as a massive energy tax, burning through a huge percentage of the drone's battery before it even reaches the fight. By the time it finally reaches the same level as the incoming threat, it's practically running on empty. There is almost no power left for high-speed chases or the complex maneuvering required to hit a moving target. This creates a strict loiter limit. A ground-launched drone cannot wait in the sky for a target to show up. It has a window of a few seconds to acquire a lock and detonate before its battery dies and it falls out of the air. Solving this requires a mechanical workaround. You need an airborne mothership that can carry those interceptors into the sky, bypassing the energy-heavy climb. The airplane acts as a flying energy bank. It absorbs the entire gravity tax. This ensures the interceptor has 100% of its battery power available the moment it is finally released. The vessel Ukraine chose for this mission is a surprising one. This is the Antonov AN-28, a twin-engine utility plane that first took flight in 1969. Its outdated design is actually its greatest survival trait. The AN-28 was specifically built for short takeoff and landing, meaning it can operate out of hidden dirt strips and rural fields. It avoids the large, established airports that are high-priority targets for Russian missiles. Because it was designed for cargo transport, it has the fuel capacity to stay airborne for hours at a time, performing persistent patrols. The first version of this platform was remarkably simple. Civilian volunteers mounted an M134 minigun in the side door of the AN-28, physically firing at incoming drones as they flew alongside them. This improvised setup resulted in over 200 confirmed drone kills. By surviving these initial sorties as a crewed gunship, the AN-28 proved it had the endurance and evasiveness necessary to serve as an interceptor mothership. In April 2026, engineers upgraded the plane with underwing hardpoints. It can now carry specialized interceptors like the P-1 Sun and the Merops AS-3, launching them electronically directly from the cockpit. This changes the tactical geometry. The AN-28 climbs to the altitude of the incoming swarm and cruises horizontally along that same flight path. When the interceptor drops from the wing, it doesn't have to waste a single watt of energy on a climb. It begins its mission with a fully charged battery. With its entire energy reserve intact, the interceptor can perform a high-speed sprint, accelerating up to 280 miles per hour to strike the enemy formation. The plane does the loitering, using jet fuel to stay on station for hours, only releasing the drones the moment ground radar confirms a threat. Cheating gravity allows Ukraine to transform a cheap, short-range quadcopter into a lethal, long-range smart weapon. Pairing an old airframe with cheap drones has successfully inverted the financial math of the air war. Ukraine can now use a $1,000 interceptor to destroy $50,000 Russian attackers. This allows Ukraine to clear out massed drone swarms while keeping their high-end Patriot missiles in reserve for far more dangerous threats, like ballistic missiles. Deploying these carriers provides a shield for the national budget, neutralizing an offensive designed to bankrupt the country one drone at a time. The success of the AN-28 demonstrates that the barrier for establishing a persistent defensive screen is no longer tied to the cost of the airframe. It suggests that protecting a territory against mass-produced threats can be achieved without the complexity of modern stealth jets. A network of high-endurance utility planes deploying automated interceptor swarms creates a defense net that is both difficult to penetrate and sustainable over the long term. The AN-28 proves that resourcefulness and a clear understanding of physics can turn a discarded plane into the exact weapon required